Hey there. Hey.
Hello.
I'm gonna be filming a makeup tutorial today. The look that we're going for is an anime gamer girl look. This one. And I just really wanted to film this because I want to. Let's do some makeup together, shall we? Cool transition.
Yeah.
Now that my hair is out of my face, let's start with some moisturizer. I got this hyaluronic pearl serum, so I'm just gonna smooth that in. After that, I'm gonna take this watermelon dew all over serum by, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's like Tony Moly. It's just a moisturizer, and I just dab some on my face and then just rub it in again. Now, I know a lot of people do their makeup routines in various different orders, but I like to start with my brows. So I'm going to take my cute makeup bag and I'm going to take out my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Chocolate. Yeah, this is outdated. I got this in middle school. It's literally like so dry. It was expensive, so I'm going to use it. I am going to take an angled brow brush. I'm just gonna dip into that. I'm gonna fill out my brows like normal. And I know what you're thinking. That literally did nothing. Hold your horses. I'm going to take my Got To Be glued, yes, this is hair gel, and I'm gonna use it for my eyebrows. I trust this product with my life. They will hold my eyebrows up for the entire day, okay? I'm going to take a little spoolie, preferably a cleaner one if you have it, but I don't, so I'm just gonna use this one. Take a little bit, just like that. You don't want to put too much. I'm gonna spread this in between both brows. Just gonna get it in there, and then I'm going to brush up. Now, while I let that dry, I like to start on my foundation. I like to use the Maybelline Fit Me. This one's the matte and poreless one. It's in the shade 320 Natural Tan.
Wow.
I'm just gonna give it a little shake. I'm gonna grab my beauty blender, dab a little bit on there. Now you can do your foundation however you want, however much coverage that you want, but me personally, I like to focus it in my dark circle area because, you know, I'm a little tired, so I just like to dab it on there. And I will dab it over my nose and where like the blush would go because I feel like it brings out the blush a little bit more when it has product to stick to. Now I'm gonna jump in with some concealer. I like to use this CoverGirl lip crayon looky thingy in the shade 710 Light Pale. I got this from Walmart and it might look a little light for me, but I just put a little bit and when I blend it out, it works. So just blend it. Now that I have let my eyebrows kind of dry a little bit, I like to go in with a darker eyeshadow, like a brown eyeshadow that matches my eyebrows to make them a little bit darker. And I'm just gonna fill it in, but like on the tail of the brow because I don't want it to be too dark in the front. Now I'm gonna take another concealer. This is the Essence Camouflage Matte Concealer in the shade Light Honey. Yeah, and I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to sharpen the bottom part of my eyebrow. I'm going to grab a little bit, very teensy amount. I'm going to just line the bottom. And then I'm just going to take my finger and kind of blend out the concealer. Now I'm going to start contouring my nose. You can totally skip this step, but I just want a cute nose. I'm going to be using the Essence Matte Bronzing Powder Palette. This one's a little more orange based. I'm going to start with the lightest shade. And I'm actually going to start at the bottom of my nose. I'm kind of going for that little like button kind of thing. I'm gonna like do a gradient, so I'm gonna get darker and darker. So I'm gonna go into the darker shade, and now I'm gonna create like a little V on my nose, kind of like a cat. Now I kind of do a little line over my nose. If you don't know where to place it, just kind of do like a pig nose, I guess. And where that crease is usually where you should probably put it. Now you want to make sure it's like blended out so you don't look too crazy. So people are like, oh, why does she have a dirt streak on her face? Just like blend it out. Now once I feel like I've gotten a somewhat button there, I'm gonna make my nose a little bit narrow and just like start shading in the bridge. So I'm gonna make 2 lines. Again, I'm starting with my lightest shade, and I like to blend it a little bit into my eyebrows to make it seem more natural. I'm just gonna take my fingers and kind of blend, blend, blend. Then I'm gonna take my concealer again, and I don't know if you can see, but you can see where it's like whiter, where the places that aren't contoured, and I'm gonna trace those. I'm gonna make a line right here, and I'm gonna put a dot on the tip of my nose. Now I'm gonna blend that out with my finger. Now I'm gonna start with my eyeshadow. I like to grab my NYX HD Studio Photogenic blah 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 primer and just put a little bit on my eyelids, taking my finger once again and just blending that in there. Now the eyeshadow look that I'm going to be doing today is going to be a more pinky brownie look, more kind of natural-ish, but you can basically do any kind of eyeshadow that you like. I'm going to take this Subculture Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Roxy, this really light pinky color. I'm just going to take a blending brush, courtesy of Burlington, dip into that, tap off a little, and start doing this with my eye. So I'm just building in that pink shade. Now I think I'm going to dip into that browner shade. It's called Fudge. This one's pretty pigmented, so I'm just gonna lightly dab into it and really tap that off. And I'm just gonna focus it on my outer corner and dab that in and do circular motions. Now that I've put the brown in both of my outer corners, I'm gonna go back into that pink shade and I'm gonna just keep on blending out a little bit more. I like to put a little shimmer shade in my eye to give it a little more pop. But before I do that, I'm actually going to take a somewhat flat brush and I'm going to dip into the shade. It's called Dawn, and I'm just going to pop that in my inner corner to kind of give a gradient. Once that's complete, I'm going to dip into a shimmer shade. You can pick whatever shimmer shade you want, but I'm going to be using this one. It's called Cube. It looks silver, but it actually has a very pinky undertone. I'm actually going to go in there with my finger because shimmers are best applied with your finger if you want more. If you want a little bit less, then I would apply it with a brush and then kind of build it up from there. I'm going to take a tinier brush, a liner brush, I believe that's what it's called. I'm going to dip into a highlighter shade. So like one that you would use, you could use a highlighter if you want, but I like to use this shimmer shade from the James Charles palette. And I'm just going to dip into that, and I'm going to pop that in the very inner corner to give it a little highlight. Now, I personally think this is a pretty important step in doing the eye makeup, is to put eyeshadow underneath your eye, and you want to give the illusion of like, oh, I have big anime girl eyes or whatever. So I'm going to dip into the brown, the dark brown shade that I used in my outer corner, Fudge I'm going to dip into that, tap off. And now I don't want to go directly underneath my eye. I want to go a little bit down more. I don't know if you can see, but can you see that little wrinkle, that fold right there? I kind of want to follow that line. So I'm going to place my shadow right where I see that fold. I'm going to blend it out. So that way I still have like a flap of skin. That sounds weird, but like a little empty space there. Now that I look like a raccoon again, it's time to start on the eyeliner. This is the most important part, and honestly it's one of my favorites because I just really love eyeliner. So I'm going to take my NYX Epic ink liner. I swear by this one. This is like the third one I bought. I think it's a very beginner friendly one. It's easy to control. So I'm just gonna take that, kind of shake it a little. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start from the bottom up. I'm not going to start from here and trace it out. I'm going to start from where we have that line. You can pretty much see it on the camera. I'm going to start about halfway through my eyeball, and I'm going to trace it out to create a wing. You see there's still that gap, and I'm gonna bring the wing out. Now, you don't want to go straight up and you don't want to go just straight. You kind of want to do a diagonal. You kind of want to follow your eye shape. Now I'm going to start from the middle of my upper eyelid. I'm going to connect it to that line that we just created. You want to start thin, okay? You want to start thin because if you make it too thick, it's just going to cover your entire eyeball. Now it's connected. I'm going to connect it again to the other side. Now I'm going to start filling it in. Now when you fill it in, you do not want to fill in that gap that we did. When you get there, you see the corner of my eye? I'm just kind of connecting it there. I'm not going underneath. I'm just going above it. Now I'm going to make the liner even thicker. This is the fun part. We get to kind of connect it to our crease and create a kind of double liner look, and that's just going to make your eyes look bigger, and it's going to work with the hood that you may or may not have. So I see the crease. I'm going to kind of connect that from the crease to the line that I have here. And you want to keep your eyes open while you do this. And I'm going to connect from here to that line. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing to my other eye. Okay, now that the top liner is done, I'm going to come back and kind of focus on the bottom one. I'm going to make it just a tad bit thicker. Give it like a base for the bottom lashes to kind of come out of. Now I'm going to pop in a inner corner. I'm going to create like a baby wing there. I like to do this because I like cat eyes. I'm going to very carefully create a little triangle. I'm basically following the shape of my eye. So as it comes down, I'm coming down, depending how long I want it. I think that is good. Then I create a little triangle. And I kind of just fill that in. Like that. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other eye. Okay, now I like to connect that black line to this black line. So now I've kind of created the like line art for my eyes. Now, the fun part, I get to draw in the bottom lashes. think triangles but curved, because you want it to follow the curvature of like your cheek to make it look a little more natural. You don't want to do them just straight out. So I'm going to start here, and I like to make a longer one out here and get smaller as I come in. Do a line and connect. Do another line on top, triangle, boop, fill it in. Right next to that one, do a smaller one, line, line, fill it in. Now the next step to making your eyes even bigger is a white waterline. Taking my jumbo eye pencil by NYX in the shade, I believe it's called Milk. Yeah, Milk. And I'm just gonna drag my eye, put it in that waterline. I'm gonna take my liner brush. I'm just kind of gonna drag it in there, get some on my brush. Now that gap that we created between the liner and our actual eyelid, I'm gonna go in that gap and kind of fill it up with the white. Now that that's complete, I'm gonna put some blush on. Now let me just show you the product that I use for blush, because I've been really loving it recently. It's called Ink Velvet by the brand Peri Para. I got this on Amazon for about, I think it was $8. And it is, you can use it as a lip tint, as a cheek tint, whatever tint. I like to just dab a few dots. Now I'm going for that anime blush. I'm going to focus it on the apples of my cheek and blend up using my finger. I'm gonna put a little heart on my nose, the tip of my nose, and I'm gonna blend that out as well. I'm gonna go back with that white eye pencil. I forgot to do this earlier. With that white eye pencil that we used in our waterline. And I'm gonna go on my nose because I want that contour to really pop out. And I'm gonna draw a tiny white line in the middle, and I'm gonna put a white dot. I'm gonna take my handy dandy finger again, preferably a different one so you don't get it pink. And I'm going to blend that out. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go back with the highlighter that I used for my inner corner, and I'm going to highlight those points on my nose. Now I'm going to go pop on some lashes. You can too, or just put mascara, or just go like this if you want, because mascara is a hassle. The lashes that I'm going to be using today are these falsies that I got off of Amazon. They're like manga anime inspired, and I think they were intended for cosplay primarily, but who cares, right? Now that I have my lashes on, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips. I'm just gonna put some chapstick on because they're pretty dry. Once that's done, I'm gonna kiss it off a little bit. I know that seems silly, but I don't want it to be too moisturized. I want them to not be dry, but I don't want them to be too wet to not apply anything. And I'm going to be taking a lip liner in the shade Rosy Nude by that same brand. I actually got these two as a lip kit, and I'm going to be using that on my lips. So I'm just going to line my lips, and since I want to go for the more anime gamer girl aesthetic, e-girl aesthetic, I'm going to go over my Cupid's bow and I'm going to round it out. And I'm just going to go in with the Ink Velvet and fill it in. I want a glossy finish. This one's more velvety, so I'm going to take my NYX Butter Gloss and I'm just going to put that on top. Now just take your setting spray, whatever one you want. I'm using the Essence Fix and Last 18-hour setting spray. And that is our makeup look all complete. Here it is in a less harsher lighting. I would style my hair and I would put a cute outfit on, but I'm really not going anywhere. So yeah, very cute, very kawaii. yeah, thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed it. I hope you did. If you have any questions, please leave comments below and subscribe if you wanna. Bye!